What if I told you I made over $2,000 this week without listing a single item, you guys? No photographing, no listing, $2,000 in a week. It's not clickbait. I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. I'm going to break it down so that if you want to do this, if you have recently burned out, or you're just over listing every day, or you want to try a different way of reselling, this is the video for you. Let's jump into it. No live selling. We're not even going to talk about live selling, friends. This is not fantasy. This is reality, and I'm sharing my exact strategy with you because I have always told you in my many years of reselling, one thing I learned is diversifying is the key to making as much money as I possibly can reselling with all the things going on. If you are new around here, hello, my name is Nikki. I've been a part-time reseller for almost 16 years. That makes me feel so old. I have a full-time job in healthcare. I have 2 young kids. They are 2, well, it'll be 2 in a month, 2 and 4. I just got married. Our 1-year anniversary, you guys, is coming up also next month. And I'm a part-time real estate agent. So just like you probably watching this video, I've got a lot going on, yet part-time reselling, I made $2,000 net, you guys, net profit reselling without listing a single thing. So I just share that with you so you guys understand that you can do this too. And the reason why some of my reselling friends get mad at me, you guys, they're like, why do you give so much information in your YouTube videos? Because I want this stuff to help as many of you as possible. And I've always told you guys that there are so many different ways to resell, and that's why it is one of my favorite jobs, and it has been. And I told you, I don't care if I become a millionaire, I will probably still be reselling in some shape or fashion. I love it that much, and you can do this so many different ways and make a great income. So let's get into it. So I was recently like, I need a week off of listing. I do have a virtual assistant that helps me, you guys. She works 30 to 40 hours a week with me. She's been with me for years. I love her. So I'm technically, I have not been listing, but she scaled way back this week also because I didn't want to photograph. I didn't want to have to send her anything in Dropbox. So this week she only listed 20 items, which is insane for us. She usually lists 10 to like 30, 40 items every single day, 7 days a week. So that's really scaling it back. And I usually list a minimum of 10 items a day, and I go all the way up to 40 items a day. And I just stopped. I was like, I need a week off. I had a video chat with her, and I was like, you're gonna get a week off too, basically. You're gonna list 20 items this week. She was happy. I still paid her for the week because she has small kids. She depends on the income. She's in Turkey, but we have become very close friends. Like literally our kids video chat while we're having our weekly meetings. And I told you guys, she actually wants me to come out to Turkey and like show me around to boutiques and stuff. Anyways, so I basically said, you know, this is like a paid week off. So here's what I did. I was like, you know what? I want to see how much I can make with all my other forms of reselling during this week. So here's what I did. I did prepare for this week, you guys. I prepared like 2 months out to take this break off. And then I wanted to film the results in this video. So here's how this week went. First of all, number 1, I did the bulk sales to the thrift and consignment stores. If you were like, what? You sell to thrift and consignment stores? Yes, you guys. I'm not just talking about like taking a bag of clothes to Plato's Closet or Crossroads. Like I work directly with the thrift store managers and buyers, and I sell them hundreds of pieces every month. I did a whole video on it. If you are interested in doing that, I will leave a link to that video down below. It's the video that I posted just before this one. So I won't go into too much detail about how to do that, but if you are interested in even learning about how to sell in bulk to thrift stores or consignment stores, and I'm talking about you take them items and they pay you out in cash right there. And how to set that relationship up, I'll leave a link down below. Somebody commented and was like, this isn't gonna work for everyone. And I'm thinking, I literally commented back like, obviously, some methods are not gonna work for you. Like that method of reselling requires you to be comfortable talking to people and telling them what you do. And I tell you that. So yeah, it's not for everybody. I get it. As resellers, a lot of us are total introverts. A lot of us don't want to tell people what we do. We just want to get our inventory and get out. I am that way too, but I've told you guys, just because of what I do in my full-time job, I'm so used to making small talk with people that I just talk to people about it. And I'm very honest, and that's how I've made the connections. So anyways, this mom and pop thrift store this week, they bought, I have it in my notes, they bought 60 items. And they paid me an average of $7 per piece. So that was $420 in cash. They pay me out in cash. They take the items and they sell it, and they make however much they make. It's a very quick process with them. I do also sell to a high-end consignment store where she pays me out cash. She's way more picky. It's actually like a meeting with her where we sit down in her back office, and I take her very like mid-range to her is like Free People, Anthro, Farm Rio, and then I take her super expensive stuff. Like I took her a very vintage Dior handbag, and she pays me out cash per piece. But I didn't sell to her this week. Right now we are doing a monthly buy for her just because I take her a lot of stuff and I'm usually there for a very long time. So this is the thrift store that's really quick. They go through my stuff. It's kind of like taking your stuff to Crossroads or Plato's Closet. They're very quick, but I got $420 in cash, and they have actually asked me if I could start bringing them stuff weekly, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know. You guys realize I'm a part-time reseller. Like they actually want me to bring them more, but everything I took to them is from the Goodwill outlet. So I paid less than $2 for all of that stuff. Actually, I think I averaged my cost of goods for that. It was like $1.59. So let's just say $1.60. $1.60 times 60. So I paid $96, but they paid me $420. So that's a profit right there of $324 just for items that I picked up from the Goodwill outlet. I was already there sourcing for myself, sourcing for them, and then sourcing for my wholesale group. So I was already there. So I just picked up stuff that I knew they liked. So that's $324 right there. No listings for me, just a bulk sale. I get that that type of reselling is not for everyone because it's going to require you to make connections with management, with buyers of the thrift stores. You're going to have to tell them what you do. But for those of you that it doesn't freak you out to talk to people and tell them you're a reseller, I recommend trying it, you guys, because it can be such a game changer for getting quick cash. It's amazing. And you know, you might strike out. The first couple of thrift stores you talk to, they might be like, no way, we get so many great donations, we don't need you to buy from us. But in the video I talk about what stores you should really target and who you should try to work with, because that matters. And then the biggest thing is obviously you have to keep your cost of goods low. So this business model doesn't really work if you have a high cost of goods, because they are resellers themselves, right? They are getting things for free. They sell it, so they want a deal too. So I'll leave a link to that video down below. But all right, this is a big chunk of how I made income this week without listing. ThredUp and the RealReal. I have done so many videos on both of those platforms. So if you're interested in selling to those platforms, I will link. I think I have a playlist. I know I've made probably over 50 videos on ThredUp over the years on this channel. I haven't done a lot lately because they really will piss me off. You guys, selling on these other platforms can be so frustrating because they own their websites. They own their platforms. They can do whatever they want, right? But ThredUp has to be one of the most frustrating platforms to sell on because they will literally overhaul their selling program and give you like 5 minutes notice. And then like the next day, all the fees have changed. The way you send things to them have changed. So probably like a year or two ago, I was like, I cannot make videos on this platform because I'll make a video and then a day later they completely overhaul their selling program. And then what I was saying like in that video a month ago isn't even active. But if you guys still want ThredUp videos, I am still very actively selling on there. I just talk mostly about it in my reselling group because a lot of them are ThredUp sellers and they're curious how to make money on there. And I share my frustrations and I share what's selling, but I really just stopped doing it on YouTube just because it got frustrating. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I make a lot of money still selling there. So just this week, I've made over $600 in net profit just from boxing things up. The way it works with these websites is you box things up, you send it to them, they photograph it, they list it, they handle all the customer service, and once it sells and the return window pass, they pay you out in cash. You can control the price, but they do give, so wait a minute, you can control the price on ThredUp. You have no control over the price on the RealReal. They price it, and if you don't agree with what they've priced it at, you can request a review. I have done that, and provide, sometimes they'll ask you like, well, can you provide proof of why you think this should be priced higher, and they may edit the price, they may not. You do have more control on ThredUp, but they can lose your items. They often change their selling policies, so proceed with caution. One of my group members was saying, like, she was like, I feel like there's so much headache selling with them. I don't even, is it even worth it? Personally, for me, I will say it is. I will say, if you are the type of reseller that has mid-range to very high-end inventory and you want an extra cash flow, you want another platform to sell on, I would say try ThredUp. They have recently, over the last couple of years, changed a lot of their selling policies. So for things like mall brands, you guys, you really don't make much money. It's not even worth sending them, in my opinion. Like, literally, I sent them recently an express top and like Target, a new Attacks Target dress that retailed for like $60, and I made $1. I made a net profit of $1. So like affordable stuff, in my opinion, that's not what I'm sending them. When they changed their policies years ago, I changed to only sending them like mid-range to very expensive things. Like I send them a lot of Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, more obscure designer brands. Like that's the stuff that's worth it to me to send to them. And I'm very selected. I'm very selective. It's very curated, because those are the items that give you the best payouts without me having to photograph, list. And I love sending them purses and accessories, because right now, this could change tomorrow, but right now those are final sale. So once 15 days passed, I get paid out. Like there's no, so it's very convoluted. So they say there's no returns for purses and accessories. So like a year ago, once, like let's say this, I don't have a purse near me. A Gucci, I recently sent them a Gucci purse. A year ago, once that Gucci purse sold and it was delivered to the buyer, I would get paid out that day that it was delivered. Now, recently, they've changed it so that purses, I talk to customer service. You guys know I'm a nuisance. I'm on chat with every customer service like almost every week. I'm literally chatting with eBay's customer service, ThredUp, because I'm like, tell me what's going on. So now they're saying that you sell the Gucci purse, the buyer gets it, right? You're not paid out once the buyer gets it. They now allow a 15-day window, just like clothing, for buyers to say like, oh, this purse was more damaged than I thought, or whatever. It's so convoluted, but they're like, they can't return it, but if they do have an issue, we want to give them that 15-day window, whatever. So I don't know. Our purse is then really final sale, because they now make me wait 15 days from the day it was delivered to get paid out. I will say though, since this new policy of the 15-day wait period, I have not had one single designer bag returned, and I'm filming this in April. Since January, I have sent them over 50 designer bags and not one has been returned, even though they give the buyer this new 15-day window. So whatever, friends, but I will say I am still making amazing profits sending them these more expensive items. I do send them still mall brands, you guys, but it's the more like expensive premium mall brands. Think like Club Monaco, White House Black Market. I still make pretty good profit sending them like the dresses, the coats. I still send them J. Crew, Ralph Lauren. Like those are the mall brands I send them. But like I'm talking like 4 or 5 years ago, I used to be able to send them Forever 21, Target, Shein. Is it Shein or Shein? Whatever. And I would make a couple bucks profit, maybe like $10, $15. Now, if you send them those brands, they won't even pay you out anything. They'll literally say you get no earnings. So that's why I have moved more towards the higher end premium stuff. And just this week, I sold 2 high-end bags and a Prada coat. If you guys want to see some actual sales, I'm going to put some sales towards the end of this video. Like I said, grab a snack, grab a drink. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of info in this video. This is a good video to put on, you guys, while you're working, listing, photographing, steaming, whatever you're doing at work, because I will share some of my... I guess I was talking so much, my camera died. So now we're on my cell phone, and this is suddenly becoming an ad for Nordstrom Rack. Let me hurry up before my phone dies. So, couple other ways I made money. A lot of you know I do. Yes? No. I'm almost done. Okay.
Hi friends, good to meet you. I got the cool room. They're checking you out, but we have no clothes today. Sorry. I'm sorry, but look at these bedroom shoes. You can sell these bedroom shoes. I bet you might like them. They're really comfy, but they're not my mommy's.
Those are mine.
No. Look, do you think these are mommy's? No. Okay, then they're not mommy's. So that means we're going to put them in the soggy truck. It's okay? Okay.
Don't. I'm still working. Go. Thank you. That's my 4-year-old.
Hi, someone's
Can you close the door, please?
And 7-Eleven has a pet thing.
Okay, friends, that was the 4-year-old. Let me hurry up before this all blows up. So, the last 2 ways, friends, I sold to other resellers. A lot of you ask me how I do this, if I can sell you wholesale. You guys, I'm a one-woman show. As you can see, I'm already selling way too many ways. So I only sell to my group members, and this week, there's a hair in my face. This week, I sold over 300 pieces to 2 group members. One person ordered 150, and the other actually it was 250, and the other person ordered 100 items. And I have talked about this ad nauseum with you guys, but if you, I know people that only wholesale as resellers. That wouldn't be what I would like to do. It's a volume game. Like I said, you guys, keep in mind, if you are gonna sell to other resellers, they want a deal, right? Because they want to resell these items. So if you're going to do, especially selling to the thrift stores and selling to other resellers, you have to have a low cost of goods. One of the group members, though, she only wants to buy premium items from me. So she and I work out a deal where she pays per piece. It's not even like a $6 or $8 thing. Like I sold her a Prada bag for $120. So she only wants like super expensive stuff, but I still give her a great deal because she then flipped that bag for over $450. And some of my group members are like, well, why are you offering? I get this message at least once a week from a group member that's like, why are you selling this? Like, what is wrong with it? Why don't you sell it? And I'm very honest with you guys. It, for me, is about the quick cash. If I can get a designer purse from one of my real estate clients for 50 bucks and then literally take some photos of it, post it in my reseller group, and sell it for 100 bucks or 150 bucks. I am all about having a diversification. What am I trying to say? I'm all about having different sources of reselling income, okay? Yes, I can take that bag and list it myself and wait for the right buyer to come along and make a couple $100 profit, or I can box it up, send it to ThredUp. It's a slow process. That's one thing I got cut off from talking about, was with ThredUp. It's a slow process, you guys. You box these things up. It usually takes, for me from California, it usually goes to Georgia. It takes about 7 to 10 days for them to even get the box, and then usually 3 to 6 weeks for them to list my stuff, and then I have to have the stuff sell. So it can take months before I'm getting these profits. So the boxes that I told you about that sold this week, that's why I said this video is months in the making. That's why I had to plan out this listing vacation. I had to send them the boxes, have them list it, wait for that stuff to sell. It's a very long process. So as a reseller, there is something so powerful to being able to pull out cash when you want to from your business. A lot of small businesses, you guys, cannot do that. There is power in that. So I understand that after doing this for so long. So I tell my group members, like, look, yeah, I can't sell this Prada bag for a couple $100 myself, or I can give you guys a great deal as a benefit for being in my paid group, giving you guys access to great inventory, and I make, you know, a quick $50, $60 profit. Win, win, win. I'm all about good karma too, you know? You're part of my group, you're paying me $25 a month. I know a lot of the members are solely in the group just to get inventory. You guys, they've told me that. Like, there's a lot of other benefits, you know, I post sourcing links and they get private videos and all that stuff, but a lot of them just want the inventory. So I'm trying to be really consistent about giving them access to all different types of inventory, whether your budget is, you know, very high, like some of my group members, or some group members are like, look, I literally only have $100 to spend on inventory for the month, you know? So that's another way that I sell. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't have a reseller group. I don't have social media. How can I sell to other resellers? I will leave a link to some free Facebook reseller groups where resellers sell to each other. I will say these groups they have more sellers than buyers of inventory, but I've sold in these reseller groups. I've sold in there and I've bought in there. And there's hundreds of reseller groups, you guys, where you can sell your stuff. So even if you have no social media following, no reseller groups or anything, you can totally do that. You can sell in these groups. All I do is I take pictures of what I have. I put a description, you know, it's pretty descriptive. 10 rent the runway pieces, no flaws, here's the cost plus shipping. And I did that. I haven't done that this week, but I'm just giving you guys options for those of you that don't have any social media or anything. And the final way that I tried this week that I will never do again is I sold one lot of Lululemon clothing to someone who reached out to me on Instagram. I always tell you guys, I only sell to people in my reselling group because one, it's just easier for me to keep track of everything. Two, I know that there's not going to be any issues because these people are part of my group. They want to be there. But I thought this person had been DMing me for months. I'm not kidding. And she's like, I can't join your group. I don't have $25 a month. I had some empathy on her and I sold her a thrifted bundle. It was literally 10 items, you guys. And I just felt for this person because she's like, I'm going through a hard time. My husband's really abusive. I'm trying to leave him, blah, blah, blah. I want to do reselling. Anyways, I sent her, we agreed that it would be a thrifted bundle, right? I sent her 10 thrifted pieces and she pulled on my heartstrings. I only charged her $5 per item for a 10-piece bundle. That is nothing, you guys. These are items that I paid like $2 for. So after PayPal fees, I'm not making that much money, maybe like $1 or $2 profit per item, but I was doing it because I was like, I really feel bad for her. I want to help her out. And I did free shipping because I was like, do you know she filed a claim with PayPal? So now I'm dealing with that. And this is why I was like, this is why I only sell to resellers in my group. She filed a claim with PayPal saying I only sent her 5 items and I was supposed to send her 10. And she's lying about the amount that she paid me. She's saying that she deserves a refund for shipping and for the cost that she paid. But I'm like, girl, you didn't even pay for shipping. So she's like submitting a claim to PayPal for $100, but PayPal can see that she only sent me $50. It's just a mess. I wasn't even gonna include this in the video, but I wanted to because I know a lot of my friends that sell on social media. A lot of my reselling friends sell on Instagram and they do really well doing it. So if you have a little bit of an Instagram following, maybe try it out, but I just say proceed with caution, you guys. And don't let people pull on your heartstrings. I was such a softie. Being a mom's made me such a softie. And now I'm dealing with so PayPal has held that amount, the $50 from my account, which I'm like, fine, but like I don't want any problems with them. I don't want them to think I'm like doing crazy stuff. But PayPal, I've talked to them on the phone and they were like, yeah, this isn't making any sense. Like, don't worry about it. It seems like she's trying to scam you and I sent them like the screenshots from the Instagram conversation and everything. So lesson learned there, but don't let that story scare you. She also watches the YouTube and she was like playing on my heartstrings and I just felt bad because She'd watched the channel for years, and then I got screwed, you guys. So I'm dealing with that. But that story aside, many of my reselling friends have done really well selling on social media. But caveat, you do need to have a following, because if you're gonna have like an Instagram story sale, or you're gonna sell, mostly people that make the most money I see doing this are on Instagram. They have a following. Like, they usually have a couple hundred to a couple thousand followers. But like I said, if you have no social media following, consider the Facebook groups. I'll link a couple down below.